Welcome to the Firecast Fireplace installation video. This video is designed to aid you in the removal of a pre-existing heating source from your fireplace and the subsequent installation of a Firecast fireplace insert. The Firecast fireplace is not a conventional fireplace. Our precasted modular designs are made of a high-temperature, state-of-the-art refractory material. The system is designed to maximize thermal and aerodynamic performance as well as combustion. The Firecast system's air-to-fuel ratio is that of a wood stove. This means more heat, lower fuel consumption, and a cleaner combustion. This is the Super Stoker utilizing metal A-vent chimney to replace a completely damaged chimney. This would be utilized in a pre-existing chimney where they're utilizing the outer shell and there's no flue liner. The unit will accept an 8-inch rigid or flex liner. This video will be broken down into 5 sections. Removal of the old heat source. Evaluation of the pre-existing firebox, smoke chamber, damper, and flue liners condition. Proper use of the Firecast template and correct measuring procedures. The correct installation of the Firecast fireplace insert. And finally, the proper curing method to ensure the trouble-free operation of your Firecast fireplace insert. The important step here is to make sure that the pre-existing heat source is removed correctly and safely. The fuel source needs to be disconnected and terminated by a certified technician and done to your local building code specifications. Any permits that are required by your local authorities need to be pulled before starting this portion of the Firecast installation. Cover the working area with heavy drop sheets to ensure easy cleanup and no damage to the surrounding work area. In this case, this customer has decided to take their gas unit out and put a Firecast liner in. In this case, you'll notice on heat forms, a lot of the older ones start to rust out in the back brick. In the back of the back. In this particular case, the customer wanted to replace their hearth with a granite slab and a surround, so there's a bit of a destruction here. But normally, for the liner to go in, there is no alterations for the fireplace. In this case, we're showing a metal heat form, but the majority of cases will be brick fireboxes that the unit will be installed into. The things to inspect, though, are the actual damper and the flue liner for damage. Usually the dampers are deformed or rusted out, and in this case we're using a top-mounted damper which will be controlled from the firebox opening and closing, which will save heat. This unit, upon inspection, is in good shape. It's a metal heat form unit, and it's in good shape. The throat and the back brick are not damaged, but if they were damaged, you would have to go to the Firecast Super Stoker. It's very important to establish the fact that the Firecast will fit your unit. That's why we've developed these templates. This is the bottom brick template. Inserting this into the floor will give you the depth and the width of the unit. This is a template of the actual side view of the Firecast, and it will show you how it will fit against the brick that is left in place on the actual existing firebox. This is a Firecast template, 29 inches high, but as most fireboxes in North America are only 24 inches, you'd have to modify and cut the back brick to fit so that you can slide it in, and that will tell you how far you need to bring the unit forward. Now that we've done the measurements for the back brick, we're going to dry fit the unit in to make sure it's all fitting well. What we're doing here is we're attaching the supplied blanket onto the back of the unit to keep the firebox hotter, and it's put on with high temperature silicone, and then we slide the unit in. You notice we've made some cuts in the back of the refractory blanket that's going to be attached to the back of the brick with high temperature silicone, and we put that on before we slide it in, and that will give us the higher firebox temperatures. And now we're going to slide the back brick in permanently. I just want to make sure that the blanket is still at the back of the unit. Getting ready to slide the bottom brick in. And we've got a sand here as a leveling base, and we'll slide it in, and that's done. We've now slid in the bottom brick, and I'm going to put a gasketing rope supplied around this section so that the expansion in the bottom brick won't affect the back brick. The next step is to install the flare panels. We put a high temperature mortar up, high temperature silicone up here, and that'll fit in behind the back brick, and we'll secure it at the top and the bottom with high temperature silicone. This flare is installed. The area in this part we're going to fill brick in, and the facing will return, the granite facing will return around to the flare panel. So rope will go down here, rope will come to that section there. The facing we're going to fill that with brick, and the back is filled with play sand. And a top mounted damper, that what will happen is when the cable's just pulled from downstairs, the dampers will close, open and close. So you've got a warm flue, you've got it sealed off at the top, and you're not losing all that heat all summer and winter. So we're going to drop the cable down the chimney, and then we can hook it up at the bottom. I'm siliconing the top of the flue, high temperature silicone. The top mounted damper, what you get a plenum of warm air trapped when it's closed, so you don't get birds, bugs, moisture. So the nice part, when you do open your damper from down in the living room, you'll get the warm air coming out, so instantly you've created a draft. What we're doing here is we're going to do approximately 6 curing fires with logs, Presto logs. These are coffee logs. Put it in and keep it in the middle of the back brick and slowly cure the unit. What we're doing here is we're curing the unit slowly. We suggest 8 curing fires, and it just gives a chance for the unit to cure. And you keep them slowly in the middle of the actual bottom brick, so it cures the whole system as a system, and you're not having to have hot spots and cold spots in there. A quick summary of what we've done with the fireplace. We've removed the gas fireplace. We've inspected the flue liner and the firebox for damage. We've taken the 4-inch liner that was venting the gas fireplace out of the flue. We've put the Firecast in. We've insulated down the back of the unit. We've put the flares in, and although this was not a common install regarding the fireplace, we put the hearth and the fireplace surrounded here as per the homeowner's instructions. And now we're slowly curing it.
Thank you for watching our Firecast Fireplace installation video. For more information, please visit our website at www.firecastfireplaces.com.